Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to Aussie Starcraft, where we are bringing you the Christmas cheer with some games from Dreamhack Winter. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere enjoying lovely wintry cold weather, Dreamhack Winter is the tournament for your Christmas season. Of course, here in Australia we couldn't be further from it. Very sunny, tropical weather currently. But yeah, that's a bit entirely unrelated from the game we're about to cast. In the top right hand corner is our red Zerg. It is EG's Jaedong versus our blue Protoss player in the bottom left hand. It is EG's JYP. So both these players, obviously Team Evil Genius, very familiar with each other. There's game 3 in a best of 3 series. So both players have taken one match each, and this will decide. This game's actually from the losers bracket, the second round in the losers round of 8. So whichever player wins this will continue to progress. Now Dreamhack, unlike most major tournaments, when you're eliminated, you are not out of the running. You actually fall into the losers bracket and get another shot at the title from there, because at the end of the tournament, the winner of the winners bracket and the winner of the losers bracket will play off in a grand final. So either of these players could still progress to our grand finals, and we will see whether it's Jaedong's day in the sun or whether JYP will show us how it's done and serve it up to the dong. So fairly standard opening here from JYP, grabbing his gas, gateway already on the way. Jaedong scouting out, trying to check for any early gateways or proxy gateways that may be placed. And see his Overlord scouting patterns, trying to deviate just from the straight route that some players take to their opponent's base. Spawning pool on the way, spawning pool before hatchery, so obviously this map's quite a short map. The rush distance between bases not that great, so Jaedong going for his spawning pool first, giving the flexibility to keep the pressure on JYP very early on. JYP's already got both his gas up, Cybercore also on the way. For those of you that are wondering why there's 2 workers in each gas, it's the most effective way to mine with 4 workers. So grabbing 2 gas and 2 in each is fairly standard, particularly for Protoss that are very gas heavy in the early game. Well, they're gas heavy in the entire game, but particularly reliant on gas at the start of the game. While we're waiting for this game to get underway, just want to thank everyone for their comments recently. Had a few nice messages from people. Always appreciate your support. It is a community focused channel. We really enjoy reading your comments and feedback, and I know that we've had some great feedback from you guys over the last couple of days, so I hope you're enjoying the games. We are making our way through Dreamhack Winter. We are probably about 70% of the way through, so in the next couple of days we probably will finish casting Dreamhack Winter and move on to some of the other awesome tournaments that did take place in the last couple of weeks. There was about 4 major tournaments in December, and we'll certainly be casting some of those in quick succession. So JYP's got his mothership core up now and his warp gate on the way. Chrono boosting out his first zealot. A few zerglings making their way across the map for Jaedong. And looks like JYP's actually upped his gas now and could well be throwing down some tech momentarily. It's actually going to be a Stargate at the front of his base, so walling off with a Stargate. Not something we see every day. I guess he's not trying to hide his tech choice at all, putting it right out there for Jaedong. Be interesting to see if this is some sort of mind game or whether he's just trying to wall off as quickly as possible. Most Protoss players try and hide that sort of tech for a little while, keep the Zerg player in the dark just a little bit. You can see JYP moving out quite aggressively with this first with the first Zealot and Stalker. Jaedong going to be going for a greedy macro opening. Third base already down, Queen's down there as well. Queen actually in the natural and in the main almost completed, so very gasless opening here for Jaedong, but very aggressive opening out of JYP. JYP actually got his natural up as well, chrono boosting an Oracle out, so certainly not something we've seen a lot of in the Zerg vs Protoss match. The Oracle very underutilized, but if you can see what JYP, so he's actually picking the queens off, so this is quite a clever choice from JYP. He knows that if he can kill these queens, then it's going to give his Oracle free run of this base regardless of whether the Zealot and Stalker are still in play. You can see JYP hurriedly trying to knock this queen off, does manage to kill it. One last inject and the queen does go down. Jaedong continuing to try and reproduce Queen 1 in the main 1 in the expansion, but now we have the Oracle moving out. I'll be surprised if the Oracle doesn't make its way over to this base. Jaedong throwing up a Spore Crawler. This Oracle's just trying to decide what it wants to go for. A few Spore Crawls on the way, one in each base. Going to make it a little bit harder for the Oracle. Going to need to micro just a little bit more. There's two Stalkers trying to block the door. Force Field there to save the Stalker's life. Zergling's very effective against Stalkers. We have the Oracle in the main base. No kills on it yet. It's Spore Crawler managing to save any of those drones from an awful death. And it looks like, oh, whoops, it looks like our Oracle is going to be forced to evacuate with 13 health. So Oracle not quite doing anything there, but JYP going to follow up with a Void Ray. So looks like it's our day for Void Rays, and plenty of them rolling out of our Protoss players. Saw them use a great effect by Naniwa in one of our other casts, and it seems like Protoss players starting to favour them just a little bit against Zerg, which is certainly not something we're used to. Usually masses of Hydralisks make them quite unfeasible, and we just see them to force Hydralisks and then see Protoss players go for some sort of tech switch like High Templar or Colossus to exploit all the Hydralisks that have been produced. But we saw Naniwa use them to great effect in all stages of that game, and yeah, it's certainly made for a refreshing change of pace in the PvZ matchup. A lot of warp gates going down now for JYP, and hasn't actually taken his gas in his natural, which is extremely rare, particularly for the 9-minute mark in a Protoss game. Normally you'd expect all those geysers to be taken. JYP just sealing the door back up, morphing in a few more zealots. You check out the units, lost those earlier engagements. Did cost Jaedong just a little bit more, but had a bit more to lose. His third base up considerably earlier than JYP's. JYP just trying to establish his now. And now we have these 4 Zerglings scouting out around the map. So these Zerglings unfortunately about to become roadkill. They managed to snipe the pylon, but midway through their elated celebration they've been mopped up by the Zealot's Psyblades. A few Hydralisks on the way now, so Jaedong finally deciding to invest in some anti-air, well, anti-air that's a little bit more mobile. We do have a few Void Rays out now, 3 on the way. There's substantial warp in now from JYP, and JYP's actually got 8 warp gates on the field already, so it is quite a serious time to take. Actually cancel that third base, and he's going to commit here, so JYP getting very aggressive here, and Jaedong being forced back towards his main base. It's pure Hydralisk against these gateway units. Hydralisks have fantastic DPS. We'll see if JYP can do anything. He's going to be forced mass recall out here as these Hydralisks are extremely potent. JYP continuing to commit here, so Zealots and Sentries doing great work. Mothership Core's been picked off, so there is no fallback plan for JYP. He's going to be committed to continue advancing forward. We have 12 Hydralisks and 10 Zerglings on the way. JYP really wants to get some damage done with these units, but his indecision between these two bases may well cost him his edge, trying to decide whether he could push forward or not, but actually getting caught between the two bases, managing to pick some of these units off before the reinforcements can come in. Jaedong actually forced to pull some of his workers as well, but the Zealot's able to clean those up quite quickly, and a force field off the natural so that he can put pressure on the third base. If this third base falls, it will be a bad news for Jaedong. Jaedong forced to pull his workers once more. Hydralisks now making their way down from the natural, but there's a very potent force from JYP. He's managed to insert himself between these two bases, and unfortunately for Jaedong just can't group up. This third base about to go down. Jaedong's going to tap out of the game, so great game from JYP, showing he's got the moves even to topple his formidable teammate Jaedong. So it will be a victory to JYP. He'll progress in the losers bracket. Unfortunately for Jaedong, that's all she wrote. Jaedong will be out of Dreamhack Winter, but we'll be seeing a lot more of him in the other tournaments that are coming up. So hope you guys enjoyed that cast. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, why not, guys? Come on. Free StarCraft 2 updates all the time. You'll hear about our games as we upload them. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's just well above, below, pretty much everywhere all around the video. Hit that subscribe button and you'll get updates whenever we're casting. So hope you guys have enjoyed the cast, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks guys, have a great night.